Hi, this is Kyle. Just wanted to quickly pop on before this episode and let you know that you're not missing on something. This is, in fact, the third episode of Tavern Tales, Dungeon in a Box, the Caravan of Peril, Group A. We lost episode 2. That's the problem with SD cards, it seems. Two things, you will either lose them or they might write to a bad sector. And in this case, it looks like we've lost the SD card that once contained episode 2. Episode 2 was a great episode. It had a lot of fun moments on it. However, it was also a rather instrumental episode for the ongoing tales of Tavern Tales itself. For Leo and Mel, the lovely couple you got to meet who played Yogg and Thorin, they elected to discontinue playing in the game. We wish them well. It's just a scheduling thing. They just could not commit to, the sort of schedule that we wanted to put forth with Tavern Tales. And as a result, Yogg and Thorin, when they went to fight the giant spiders, perished, unfortunately. But they were... group was happily introduced to Chelsea's character, and Chelsea's character stepped up and joined the group and was a former Mariposa Mayhem player, in fact, and so knew the entire group, and a really wonderful bond began to establish between Paige's character and between Chelsea's character that we unfortunately do not have because it was trapped in episode 2. They also encountered some knights from ages ago that had been reanimated by a curse in these woods, and Marie Claire's character was not very good in her diplomacy with the knights and almost led to the entire group's downfall were it not for Paige's trinket that she had rolled, a dagger from a lost civilization, actually being from the same civilization as these knights. And what was a wonderful bit of impromptu role-playing, she told us the history of this dagger and where it came from and how she, in fact, was connected to the lead knight in charge of this group. And as they slowly realized, or he slowly realized, that the weight of years has passed by for all of this to have happened, they came to peace with what had happened and crumpled into ash and dust in the wind. The dagger, fortunately, did not crumble away with the knights, and they continued on our adventurers, that is, continued on their merry way. So I present now to you episode 3, where we have stopped for the night, and a bunch of things are about to transpire. I'll leave that for you. Just with this caveat and apology that while we do our best to record a consistent and ongoing chronicle, not only for Dungeon in a Box, but for Tavern Tales, the Tales of the Yawning Portal itself, sometimes things are beyond our control. And for that, we hope that you will accept our most heartfelt apology and continue on with the rest of this wonderful tale. It's a good one. Thanks.
Last orders at the bar, please.
Welcome to Tavern Tales Presents, a curated actual play 5e Dungeons & Dragons game set in the world of Dungeon in a Box, the Caravan of Peril. The Caravan of Peril is so good and so chock full of adventure options that I was able to run the entire game with a second group of people, and now we present Game 3 of the second group.
Come sit down and drink with the enemy, raise a glass and toast to the enemy, and I'm not gonna do this on my own. So come sit down and laugh with the enemy, raise your glass and sing to the enemy, and I'm not gonna do this on my own. So I won't end up being alone, 'cause I won't drink my drink alone. So what about you? 1 beer or 2, I'll drink to you.
welcome to a very special Tavern Tales Dungeon in a Box game number 3. This game has grown and changed considerably since it began, so why don't we do some introductions around the table so that everyone who's possibly listening can understand who's playing in this, the third game of the Caravan of Peril.
Hi, this is Paige, and I am playing Vestrode, and he is a fighter human.
In that order.
Yep.
He's a fighter first, but a human second.
Always. It's always for a soldier.
Hello, my name is Aaron, and I am playing Balasad, the... What am I playing?
You're a half-orc.
Wow, a dragonborn barbarian.
What color
You're not a
dragonborn are you?
I am copper. Wow, I can't... Wow, it's in front of me, and I can't read it.
It's okay. Marie Claire still thinks you're a half-orc, so...
Wow.
Sorry.
That's
We're
okay.
like best friends too. Hello, I'm Marie Claire, and I am playing Dimple Dandy Drake, and I'm a wizard gnome.
Hi, I'm Chelsea, and I'm playing Ekamon, who is a bard tiefling.
And we have a new player at the table today. Why don't you introduce yourself? Tell us a bit about you.
I'm Allison, and I'm going to be playing Drizel, who is a sassy dark elf ranger. Allison is a music teacher for a special needs school, and I do lots of cool music stuff.
It's great. You'll fit in really well here.
Yeah.
All of us here need...
Some special needs.
We have some special needs,
Yeah.
especially when it comes to music.
Ouch.
The only time Aaron's musical is after he's eaten beans.
That is true, and I can attest to that.
I'm tone deaf.
You know that's true.
With introductions out of the way, I guess I'll introduce myself as Kyle, but if you're listening to Tavern Tales, you've heard my voice more than enough. Good evening, Mystic soccer fans in Mariposa and throughout the land. It is very regrettable, indeed lamentable, the loss of both Yogg and Thorin, but Ekamon, the previous season's bardic announcer and wielder of vocal scatting might, has joined the caravan as a guard on his way to the Greyhaven Giants. While we in Mariposa wish him nothing but success there, it remains to be seen if they'll even make it as the caravan traverses the wilds of the Greenwold. Already tensions are high as the caravan has encountered a cohort of ancient Euphrenic knights lost in the wilds of the forest and only gave way to the caravan and to death upon the revelation of Vestrade, who realized he was but dimly related to the lead knight in the cohort. As they retired for the night, Balasar reflects and says...
The stars are so lovely at night without a cloud in the sky.
And now, let us peek into a different adventure, but directly connected with what is to come. As a dark elf, alone on the road to Greyhaven, trying desperately to make ends meet, as a professional mystical soccer player slips along a midnight road alone, or is she? Can you just describe your character for us?
So Drizel is obviously small because she's an elf, so she's about 4 or 5. She's got purple eyes and dark skin and black hair.
She's very short for a dark elf then.
Yeah, she's teeny,
Yeah, that's very tiny.
but don't underestimate her. She's sassy.
Oh, boy.
Did your character have survival?
Yes, she does.
So that is a skill that she's proficient in.
Boom.
You're like, she is now.
Yeah,
Marked off. I'm guessing you haven't chosen all of your skills for this character as of
I
yet?
was working on it.
All right. Look, you know that there's only like 4, so it's not a huge deal. Not a ton.
It's going to be okay.
All right. So you know your way about the woods as an outlander would. You are making your way along the road, but dimly in the distance, you make out a circle of wagons in a field. There is a fire in the middle that is illuminating these wagons, and there is a small amount of noise in the evening. You don't detect any noise other than what is coming from the caravan itself. I'm going to imagine that there is a conversation happening between 2 guards. Who is on guard right now as the evening is descending and the moons are rising in the sky? Yes.
Sure, me.
And me.
Excellent. What is a conversation that Drizel would overhear between the 2 of you?
So, you've been well, I see. You've been well?
Yeah.
And, still doing well.
You can taste the awkward tension in the air between these two individuals. You cannot determine exactly who they are. They're both speaking in common. One of them only said the word yeah. So given that you're not granted too much way of knowledge, there's a few other conversations that are happening. It sounds like somebody's washing dishes. One of the guards is washing dishes. Who's washing dishes?
I will be washing dishes.
Excellent. That's good. Balasar is washing dishes haphazardly. And what is Vestrad doing?
He is looking at his shield because one of the lights from inside the caravan caught a section on it, and it's really shiny.
Oh, okay.
So it's kind of like a cat. You know when you have like a light and you can do it different? So it's with this light. And so he's watching his shield move this light.
Okay, and he's shining it on the ground and enjoying the simple pleasure.
Yeah.
Where is Vestrad sitting then right now?
So the caravan's in a circle, right? So he's actually on the inside, but closer, not like directly in the middle, but closer to one of the caravans.
Is he standing or sitting down?
He's sitting on one of the steps to the caravan. Right? They would have steps.
Sure.
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah, because this is when the wagons are moving, he's like really on because that's what he does. So this is his time to kind of have fun and relax.
Okay, wind down.
Yeah.
Well, you're all otherwise engaged, so please make perception checks, everyone at the table.
Oh, God.
Did anyone get over a 16?
Yes.
If you just put your hand up, get to. All right, so the three of you, one of you slipping through the night, has heard something that does not seem to have originated from within the caravan. It is almost an organic sort of sound. Make me a sound effect, Aaron. No, that's silence. I need a sound effect.
The sound of silence. Sorry, what was the sound you needed?
Organic.
I need some sort of organic sound effect.
I guess I'm peeing
okay.
in the forest. That's what.
Drizzle is taking a drizzle.
I'm just going to let you know that I would not have made you make a perception check to hear your own urinating.
You said I'm at the table. You said everyone at the table. I don't argue with the DM. I've done this before.
You've required someone to make their own, to listen to their own urine? All right. I don't know if I
Checking for
appreciate that
irregularities.
That would have been a medicine check. Given
That sounds like it has blood in it.
yes, yeah, that's the
Well, Drizelle's not going to be around long.
no.
UTI all the way.
All right. Well, now that you've succeeded in taking the piss of the situation, the sounds are actually originating on the opposite side of the road from the caravan. And the three of you have heard these noises. I have no idea how Balasar, who heard the noise? No, you missed it? That's perfect. You're washing dishes. Why would you have heard that noise?
I just hear clanking and clattering.
Ekamon is caught up in some awkward situation, trying to have conversation with Dimple, but not really knowing what to say, and does not hear it. Too lost in your own thoughts, I'm guessing. As a result, the three of you have heard this sound, which I'm going to codify into maybe the jingling of some metallic thing in a belt pouch, because I can't. That was definitely not an organic
How is that organic,
sound.
though?
Well, hey, I asked for an organic sound. He provided and produced sound with his mouth organ. And I have to take that from what it is. So we're going to codify that into a specific thing, some sort of metallic thing rattling in a belt pouch.
I thought organic meant alive.
I totally thought that was what was going to happen too. But you know what? We take the offer and we say yes, and we just go from there.
Sure, I was understanding science.
Yeah, it's like the difference between an aardvark and an ant. The three of you have heard this sound. It is not at all like something you have heard in the woods on the trail, except from one of the merchants who has a belt pouch with money in it.
Is that the tax collector?
And as I'm playing with my shield, I try and shine the light over that way. It's like a flashlight.
Sure. Yeah.
As
Okay.
it reflects off my shield, trying to pinpoint and spotlight what it was.
Did you hear that, Ekamon?
And
Did you hear that?
Drizzelle, what are you doing?
I am trying to listen more. So
Okay.
I'm intently listening. I'm just like clenching my face really tight and really listening.
All right.
Yeah.
Face clenching action.
The smallest
that's the
of
sound.
squeaker farts comes out as a result of your clenching. No, I do not need that sound effect.
Added.
Dimple was asking Ekamon a question.
Did you hear that, Ekamon?
Did I hear what, Dimple?
That from across the road.
Ekmon looks around, tries to see if there's anything that could be making clanking sound.
Make a perception check.
17.
You are not seeing anything in the darkness out of the way.
I have dark vision.
You have dark vision to 60 feet, I do believe, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you don't see anything out of the way. And where Dimple points across the road, you definitely don't see anything yet. There's nothing there that seems to be telling you or revealing itself. However, Drizel, you were paying attention with those ears of yours.
Mm-hmm.
You were listening. You heard some names being called back and forth. Do you recall the names that were being said?
Oh, Ackerman.
Yeah.
And Dimple.
Yes.
Yeah.
Individuals you know from your time in Mariposa.
That's right.
What is the emotional and immediate response for Drizel?
Hey, I know those guys.
Do you suppress that, or do you allow your...
No, full on.
Okay.
100%.
So a voice cries out in the night.
Hey, I know those guys.
What? What was
the
that?
shit?
What?
That sounds like a voice I once knew.
And
way
then
back.
Vestrad runs forward and he's like, "Don't worry, I got my shield, I'll light it." And he tries to light where the voice came from, not realizing it was the light reflecting from the caravans that was giving him that illumination.
Yeah. His shiny shield is no longer shiny. We'll get to Vestrad in a moment.
Oh.
But Dimple and Ekamon, the shout, especially to Dimple, that came out was from the road, like 80 feet, close to 100 feet down the road from which you guys came before.
Come closer. I cannot see you.
So as you call out to that, we'll pause that moment there because we have Vestrad over here who was initially attempting to shine his shield across the way before you ran out to the road and heard Drizel cry out. What skill would you like to use to shine the shield across the road?
Intelligence.
That's a great question. So I'm going to say he used acrobatics. He had to get some pretty interesting positions in order to get some of that reflection.
Okay, you may use acrobatics, and because of the weird positions you're gyrating into, I'm going to give you advantage on the check.
Woohoo!
That's awesome, Paige.
21.
That is a ton of
I'm really acrobatic.
of numbers. A beam of light shines from a torch or an ensconced lantern that was hanging from one of the wagons. You shine it like a brilliant, 10,000 whatever light is measured in.
Lumens.
Lumens?
Lumens. It's lumens.
It's watts.
Lumens.
That's really what I
That's
wanted to
what
go
Watts
for.
is electricity.
It's lumens.
It's
Lumens.
lemons.
I sell lights.
This is literally
She
her
wins.
job.
Okay, let's ask
That wasn't the
Google.
word I was looking for.
Is anyone a light doctor in the house?
Light surgeon.
Light surgeon.
light surgeon? It shines like a beacon in the night across and illuminates what could only be described as a bandit, a human, dirty, disheveled, wearing leather armor with a short sword in hand, who has a belt pouch that contains some sort of strange metallic clinking material, which is what caused everyone to hear him in the first place, has been illuminated by your guiding spotlight. Can you describe the position your character is currently in?
Absolutely. So the way that he got this light is you know that breakdancing move that every kid tried when he was kind of like on his arm and his shoulder and his head
Oh, the
and his legs?
baby.
Was the baby,
Yeah.
that one. So he's kind of doing that, but as he's holding that position, he's holding the shield between his legs and they're kind of twisted up. And that's how it bounces off. And then I think it bounces somewhere else. And then it illuminates the bandit.
Shines right in he's watching you do
Shines
this.
like a diamond.
And his face is full of chagrin and like, what? Just utter shock. Meanwhile, Dimple has called out in the night to Drizel, asking Drizel to...
Show yourself.
So I do. Or how far away am I?
They're about 80 feet away.
So I'm going to have to say something back as I come. Hey, Dimple, it's me, Drizel.
But while Drizel says that, after Dimple says, whoever you are, show yourself. Actually, it's the whoever you are, show yourself. The bandit says, shit, we've been made, boys. And there is this brief moment of interesting hilarity as Drizel calls out while the bandits admit to being sought. So I'm going to require that everyone roll initiative.
Ooh, I did well.
How bloody slow is Akamon?
Akamon is the slowest. What's your initiative, Akamon?
8.
And Drizel.
16.
Dimple.
22.
Wow.
I know.
And Vestrad.
Oh, me. 18.
And Balasar.
9.
Balasar, you've missed all of the comings and goings, but this pot, it's not scrubbing itself.
You know him well.
We have circled wagons. There's a fire in the middle. Balasar is near the fire because that's where he can get warm water to wash the dishes. Balasar is washing dishes with the caravan master. Anyone remember the name of the caravan master?
Laura.
Hannah. Allison, for being level 1, you get a moat. Just like everybody else did. You may spend that moat to have advantage or to change the story. However, if you wish to change a story in a particularly dramatic and emphatic way, it requires more than one of those.
How many do I need?
Yes.
Okay.
More.
Appreciate it.
More.
With that, we now begin initiative with Dimple, followed by Vestrad.
So can I see these bandits now that they have been...
One bandit is illuminated in the night. He can be seen. He does not have cover or darkness covering him. The other bandits can be but made out dimly around him.
Okay, so this is what I'd like to do. I would like to make a ranged spell attack on him, casting Witch Bolt.
Ooh, what's the color for that? What do you say when you cast Witch Bolt, and what does it look like?
It takes a certain amount of hand waving and gesturing, and as my hands move back and forth, blue lightning starts to jump between them, and then I shoot them out Emperor Palpatine style, and the lightning arcs from my fingertips to the target of choice, which
Perfect.
is this bandit. And I say, holy shit, take that! as I shoot him. That would be a 23.
That is definitely a hit. You have hit the bandit full square in the chest.
All right. No, I don't use this dice very often. It's a D12.
You're a barbarian at heart.
6 lightning damage. And then on each turn, each of my future turns, I can deal another D12 damage to that target automatically.
So it's a concentration spell as well?
It is.
Excellent. With that, Dimple, your turn is done.
Yes.
You're just going to stay where you are.
I'm gonna stay back here, yes.
Excellent. Vestrad, it is your turn, followed by Drizel.
How far away am I?
You are 60 feet away from them. You're in between a gap and 2 wagons, which is how you've managed to shoot this beam of light.
So I'll probably have to run forward because I see my friends in danger, and obviously me being me, I want to protect them. I didn't write it down, but how far does a crossbow shoot?
At least 60 feet. Yep.
Oh.
And you could shoot that guy with a normal shot, or you could shoot somebody else with disadvantage.
I'll just use my crossbow to shoot the guy that I have illuminated since I know where he is. So 23.
That is, of course, a hit. Roll your damage.
4, right? Because that would be 1, and then I have +3.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Cool. 4.
With that, the bandit keels over, falls to a knee. He doesn't die, but he is grievously wounded. Where did you shoot him?
Do you really want to know?
Yes, please.
In the testicles.
Man, he's like, I knew I shouldn't have worn my wife's Jill. It didn't help at all. Oh, he says.
Well, you can bleed out from there.
He definitely will. bleed out from there. Drizel, it is your turn. And following Drizel, we have Balasar.
So once again, how far away am I from?
You are 80 feet
Yeah.
from your two known individuals, and they are literally across from these bandits. So you are 100 feet or so, give or take. I mean, if you're only 80 feet away from them, you're technically only kind of 80 feet away from the bad guys. So what would you like to do?
Because I have a longbow, but that would be a pretty tough.
The range on a longbow is 150.
Oh.
/ 600. So if you are at 151 feet away, then the shot is with disadvantage. You cannot shoot over 600 feet.
Well, then I'm going to shoot them with my longbow.
You can shoot with disadvantage and hope to hit one of the other bandits if you would like.
Oh, we can go for him. 13.
That is a hit.
Oh.
Where does it hit him to kill him?
Go for the jugular. Go right for the neck.
This poor guy.
No, I should have worn my gorget. He dies.
Sweet.
He doesn't have a chance to cry out his love of mystical soccer or anything because his throat has been punched through by a longbow. And Vestrad, you have no idea where that longbow came from. That arrow, which you're illuminating very clearly as the spout of blood comes out the other side of it.
Did I shoot my crossbow while still illuminating with my shield?
Yes.
That's amazing.
I am so talented.
You are the most talented
While
of
breakdancing.
breakdancing shield shiners.
It's the reason I was the head coach of soccer.
It's particularly inspiring of others. But nonetheless, you don't know where this longbow arrow, it's very long, beautifully fletched arrow. What does the fletching look like?
That's a great question. Say it's got like vine engraving in it.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
On the bow, on the arrow itself? Yeah, because it'd have
Yeah,
to. What's
yeah.
the fletch? What color is the feathers and the pinions of the longbow?
Do like a deep purple.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, you've never seen anything like this arrow. These are fancy arrows. Suddenly just destroy this poor guy you're illuminating. He falls forward onto the road to bleed out there. But that arrow could not have come from the camp. It came from somewhere down the road. Vestrad's not too sure where. Balasar, it is your turn, followed by Ekmon.
How far is everyone away from me?
Well, you are in the middle of the camp. You have no idea what's going on because you failed all of your perception checks. And you are scrubbing a pot. So you are around the 80-foot mark away from the bandits. And you're at the 50-foot mark away from your comrades and allies who are on the other side of the wagons from you.
Well, because I was washing dishes, I don't have my hand axes with me.
Unless you were washing dishes with them.
Right. So I will take the pot that I was washing and use my 2 actions to move, or use my 2 actions to move to where my comrades are.
Cool. Why are you moving towards your comrades?
So I can see what's going on.
What do you think is going on?
I have no idea.
What causes you to stop washing the dishes right now?
Because no one is around me. And I see no one,
Okay.
I assume.
Yeah, I mean, you can definitely look up and see Vestrad. Vestrad is holding his crossbow
Crossbow
and
shield.
is in the baby breakdance pose with his shield in between his legs, shining his shield across the street. When you look up and see Vestrad shining the light, you can make a quick perception check. If you roll a 1, you're going back to dishes. Beyond that, you're probably going to see what's going on.
Oh no.
What did you roll?
6.
He rolled a 3.
6.
I was going to say a 2 would probably still mean back to dishes. But a 3, like all you needed was a 5 difficulty to see this guy. There's a guy in the road dying. He's kind of twitching still, but he's definitely dead. Oh, and as he falls over, you hear that noise. Stops as he falls over and dies.
Right.
That you do see happen. Now you definitely can take your turn. What would you like to do?
So everyone's still 50 feet away from me?
Vestrad is close to you, but that guy died in the road about 70, 80 feet away.
And I can't see any other shapes or figures?
No, not with that perception check.
I was gonna say.
I mean,
Oh boy.
with that perception check, you could barely discern a clean dish from a dirty
I was
one.
going to say, I just barely see Vestrad over there. Can I use my action to call out to Vestrad and
Of
see
course.
what's going on?
What would you like to say to Vestrad?
Vestrad, what's going on out there?
There are bandits in the road.
Right.
Come help.
Okay, I will come help. So I again grab my soapy pot and I will... What direction is everyone?
Not beside me.
I can't see anyone else other than Vestron
And the dead guy.
and the dead guy. I will go to the dead guy.
Start making your move. It's going to take you more than an entire round to get there. You take your full action and your move action to get there, and you're now ending your turn around the street. Is that where you'd like to be?
Yes. Can I get some quick stats for my pot attack and damage?
Well, we'll get there when you use it.
Nice.
All right.
I'm so excited for that.
Pot. Do you bring a kettle as well?
No.
It's like
Are they
Tangled.
black?
It's not black. No, it's a pan and tangled.
I know, but then they all get pans and pots at the end of the movie.
He's going to be like, be my guest, and just thump them routinely. Ekamon, what would you like to do?
Do I see any enemies around at all?
No, you see the dead guy. You are more than certain that there are other bandits in the woods. You have not been able to perceive them as of yet.
Ekamon walks to where the dead guy is now laying, and he uses his cantrip, the thaumaturgy, to yell, "We do not want to kill you. We would rather be your friends."
Because you're using a cantrip and you're casting a spell, you need to have the verbal component to that. And for bards, that is some sort of musicality. So can you add your musicality to this thaumaturgy use?
You're such a cruel man.
Yeah, but it's so much fun to listen to afterwards.
Make sure to remember that.
When
that
it's
down.
for bardic scatting, Ekamon just needs to sing in or to do some sort of music piece. For when you're
You're a
playing your
sorcerer.
sorcerer has to have specific spells that you've memorized and know their release.
So all you hear is "Boo ba ba ba." We don't want to kill you. We want to be your friends.
Oh my, it gets even longer. Okay, can I get a?
Except in Ekamon's voice, not what I just
I mean,
did.
it doesn't. I mean, you're. Are you trying to lie to them, dissuade them,
No,
or are
I
you
actually-
persuading them?
Part of I'd rather make a friend than an enemy.
Oh, absolutely. I think that's perfect. Yes, but I would like to know: are you making a deception check or a
Persuasion.
persuasion check? Go ahead,
Persuasion.
roll the dice, and you have advantage with your booming voice.
Even though there's a guy laying on the ground
Yeah.
bleeding out with 2 arrows
Come on,
sticking out
didn't
of
do
him.
that.
And just so you all know, I did not kill the guy that's currently on the ground by my feet. That was that guy over there, or that guy, I don't know. So there's arrows.
make your check with the advantage.
So I rolled 2.
Yes.
19.
A 19 is pretty good. You have. I'll just roll for the bandits to see if they
Decided to be our friends.
come out of stealth to be your friends. And 2 of them do. 2 of them.
Hi, what are your names?
Yeah. One of them steps forward. He immediately, comes around a tree, and he's wearing camouflaged style leather armor, and he's got a big bright smile on his face. And he's like, "That's so kind of you," is what he says. And the other guy only fails because he slaps the guy in the arm that is talking to you with his dumbfounded grin on his face, saying, "You fool, they're lying. They just want to spoil our cover." And he trails off, looking out, having now stepped into essentially the light. Since then, none of the other bandits have made a move. Is there anything else that you'd like to do with your turn?
Ekamon skips over to his new friends.
Oh my goodness.
Links arm with the one. Hey, want to come and sit by the fire with us? We got ale.
As you gallivant forward, bardically inspired, and I will give you another white gem for your misdeed here, because the buddy who slapped his friend will attempt to shank you in the kidney
Oh,
How rude.
with a spork?
with his scimitar. And I have rolled an 18 to hit.
Ooh.
And what's your armor class?
15.
So not that. So you take 4 points of slashing damage
Ouch.
as he cuts you across the back. Meanwhile, 3 of the other bandits, realizing that cover has been blown, with crossbows drawn, take aim at Dimple and Balasar. Balasar, standing in the middle of the road, takes 2. What is your armor class, Balasar?
16.
Then you definitely get hit by 1, taking 5 points of damage as a crossbow hits you brutally in the upper bicep of whichever arm you would like to have hit. The other one shoots at Dimple. What is your armor class,
16.
Dimple? You also get hit, and you also take 5 points of piercing damage from a crossbow.
Ouch.
Do I get to retaliate to this action
Son of a bitch.
since I just got shanked?
That was the bandit's turn. Ekamon, you will have another opportunity
Right now?
next round.
Oh, well, I want
We are returned to the top of the round, and all of the bandits are on display. 2 of them very close to Ekamon. One of them, though, everyone can tell, is smiling and looking delighted at having made a new friend of Ekamon, and he's not happy at having been punched and watch his other bandit friend shank Ekamon. So with that, we will initiate the top of the round with Dimple, followed by Vistrad.
Was the one that I hit with Witch Bolt previously killed?
He is dead,
Okay.
lying in the middle of the road.
The guy that hit me with the crossbow bolt, I'm going
Right.
to shoot with a firebolt.
And what is the command word for firebolt again?
Infuego?
Okay.
Sure. Fire? Infuego. I don't know. I can't pronounce things.
To all Spanish-speaking individuals,
I'm sorry.
literally just saying fire.
Fire. 16.
That is a hit.
Wow. 8 fire damage.
He cries out. His crossbow drops from his hands that are burned from the virulence of the bolt of fire you cast upon him as he is put awash in, what color is the flame?
It is an bright orange flame.
Washes over him and does not kill him, but he's not taking anyone out to a social dance anytime soon for looks.
You made him ugly.
That was the goal.
Dimple, do you wish to move or do anything else?
Yeah, I'm going to back up.
All right. Back up and generate yourself half cover from one of the wagons or whatnot?
Yeah.
That's what okay, perfect. With that, we move to Vistrad, followed by Drizel. Drizel, I'm going to take it that you also took your free 30-foot move last turn. You shot your longbow and moved?
Yes.
So I can now see Ekamon because now he's with.
Absolutely.
So can I yell out to Ekamon and the Happy Bandit and tell them to move so I can shoot one of the bandits behind them?
You don't even need to do that, but you can gladly yell out to them to have that sort of action undertaken. They won't be able to move on your turn, but you're not going to be...
Can I say
Your
duck?
crossbow...
Can they
yeah,
duck?
sure.
Cool. Ekamon, Happy Bandit, duck!
Happy one.
Oh, I don't see him as a threat. He
You're
seems
going to
really
shoot
nice.
the shanking... As you shoot the shanking bandit,
Yeah. Hurt
Roll
my
your
brother.
attack.
Ooh, 10.
I think you were too busy thinking about what word you needed to say, like duck. What would be quick to say? Like goose? No, that's not. That would make them run. So you miss completely. It just fires off into the shrubbery. One of the shrubbery goes, ow! And, actually, the shrubbery says knee or something. And it misses, which saddens Vistrad to no end because you're never going to find that crossbow bolt.
Aww.
Would you like to do anything else?
I try and shift my body so that I'm somewhat illuminating the one that shanked my brother.
Absolutely. We now move to Drizel. Drizel, they're across the road. They're in the trees. They've essentially got half cover, so you'd have disadvantage to hit any of them. You could move like a full 30 feet, though, and be in a position to shoot them pretty easily, though, if you'd like.
Yeah, I think I'll move and then shoot.
You move up the road, quickly dashing your 30-foot light tread. What kind of boots does Drizel wear?
I'm going to say just like basic leather.
Basic leather
Yeah.
boots. Do they have any treads or unique patterning on the bottom of them?
It's a tread. I wouldn't say it's like unique in any way.
Is it
Just
wavy
plain
or
boots?
zigzaggy? What are they?
Sure, zigzaggy.
Zigzaggy.
It's fun to say.
Yeah. Drizel's zigzaggy
It's all about
boots.
the Zeds.
You quickly, lightly scamper up the road. You leave only the tops of the boots tread on the ground as you lightly dash forward those 30 feet. Your longbow is raised out and takes aim. You stop at the required distance, you are to only move 30 feet around to still be allowed to have an action and
Perfect.
fire. Which one would you like to shoot at? There are several bandits available. There are 5 in total. One of them has been blasted with fire and has dropped his crossbow. There is Shanky Bandit, who is looking angrily at both Ekamon and at the other bandit. That individual has not been hurt. But the light of Vestrad's shining shield glows and puts him into, it gets that nice underlight to take away that double chin shadow that you could possibly have. It's really, he's beautifully framed for portraits. And there are a couple of other bandits that no one's really bothered to do anything with yet.
The Shank Bandit is the one closest to Eckerman.
Ekamon, yes.
Okay, I am going to shoot that one.
Absolutely, go for it.
I did not. No, don't even.
I kind of thought when you said, I'm going to shoot that one, I was like, you're kind of putting the cart before the horse because
I was wanting to shoot that
yeah,
one.
I take aim at them and then the dice told you, no, you miss.
Yeah.
Eckermon gets shot.
The brilliant purple fletching of another beautiful arrow goes skidding past this bandit, nicks his ear, and if any of you were so perceptive to notice, it leaves a purple dye line on his ear as it fires off into the night, lost forever. And there's no way you're going to find that again. You pulled back with all your might. But the bandit only realizes dimly someone else in the night away from this caravan is shooting and firing at the bandit group.
They weren't counting on a sniper.
And he cries out a warning leading to...
Belazar.
Yeah, you don't have to help me. I'm just... So it's all new because I'm not used to your characters' names yet. So I'm literally, and there's Dimple and Drizel, and what I like to do is only write the first letter of a character's name. But I'm okay with there being 2 Ds because there's only 2 games. But it is a rule that when we sit down to play Forge of Fury as a group, everyone's name has to start with a different letter of the alphabet because I don't want to write everyone's whole name out. That's a rule. Chelsea's like, rules are weird. With that, it is Balazar's turn, followed by Ekamon.
All right, cool.
I literally had to look at the E and be like, E. What starts with E? Oh, yeah, Ekamon.
Elephant.
Erdvark?
Babar.
Eardvark.
Can I see people now?
Oh, absolutely. You can see all of them, especially the 2 that shot you.
That's a good point.
So as I see the arrow in my left bicep, I have the pot in my right hand. I'm going to take my pot and break the arrow off.
Ow, okay.
And then I'm going to rage as my bonus action.
Yeah, of course. That would cause anyone to rage.
And then I'm going to charge the one guy an attack.
Do you attack with the pot? Or
Yes.
because you cut the arrow off with the pot and then raged, that you would not initially be angry at the pot and then rush with your 2 hand axes into battle?
I haven't grabbed my hand axes. I'm just wielding the pot.
Well, I'm going to suggest
was
that
washing.
your hand axes are probably in their sheaths or belt loops around your waist.
But I want to use the pot so
I have no problem with you using the pot so badly if you would like to. And it's true, this pot would not get clean. This pot, somebody had put stew in it and then left that stew over the fire too long, and all of the delicious goodness was baked and encrusted into the bottom of the pot, and it was going to take at least 3 or 4 days of scrubbing to get it out. You were the person to have left the stew on the fire so long, which is why you were still cleaning it. But
that hits a little close to home. Fine, I won't use the pot.
go ahead.
No, use the pot. Use
Charge
the pot.
for it.
It's gonna be
Yeah,
funny.
yeah.
Do it.
Do
Take your
it.
Okay, fine,
vengeance.
I'll
It's
use the pot.
It's worth it.
You're really angry at that pot, and that was not a good way to cut an arrow from your arm. So, you may have advantage on your attack when you charge the bard. When you charge the bandit. It's Ekamon gives me a...
Cool. All right, so I'm going to pot attack.
Yes. Now, you don't get to add your proficiency bonus, but you still get to add your strength bonus to this roll. So what'd you get?
15.
15 is enough to hit, and it is a D4 damage plus your strength.
Oh, and I also get my rage buff as well. +2. So 8 total damage.
You don't hit the bandit with the bottom of the pot. You hit the bandit with the inside of the bottom of the pot and essentially put the pot right over his head. Because you're still so mad at that baked on grime and whatnot. You clank it right over the top of his head. He's not wearing a helmet, and brain the bandit in a similar way as happened in, I believe, Braveheart and in Rob Roy, where the guy brings the mace down on the top of the person's head and just a big squish of blood. The bandit is not dead, but just roll me a d6.
Dinner's ready.
4.
He just lost 4 points of intelligence.
Nice.
Ouch. Anybody want some brain stew?
Is there anything else Balasar would like to do with his turn?
No, it sounds about right. Question, though.
Yes.
So he's still alive.
Yes.
Okay.
And still has several hit points and will be able to attack on his turn.
Will he have disadvantage because he has a pot on his head when he attacks?
I believe you pull the pot back up in order to continue to retain the pot for attacking purposes.
Ooh.
But we'll get to there when we
Okay.
get there.
Okay.
For
Sorry.
it is now Ekamon's turn, followed by the bandits.
Are the bandits fairly close to me? I know one has shanked me.
You are standing next to Smiley Bandit, and the shanking guy is within 5 feet of you, for sure. Most of the other bandits are all within 30 feet of you as well.
30? Not 15?
Within 30. So some of them may be within 15, but not all of them.
What percentage of them would be within 15?
Why do you need to know this? What would you like to do?
I want to do Thunder Wave.
And that only is a 30-foot radius spreading out from you.
Yeah, 15-foot cube originating from you.
Well, it's a 15-foot cube originating from you. So that gets the guy on this side and the guy on that side. So basically the 9 squares around you. So I would suggest that it's going to hit Smiley Bandit. It's going to hit the shanking guy. And
It originates from me, so does that mean I'm in the center of it, or
Yeah.
can I put it in front of me?
I believe it's in the center of you, isn't it? Is that not what it says?
Is there a range on it?
It just says 15-foot cube originating from you.
I think if it's originating, it would originate like all around you.
Because I don't want to hurt my buddy.
He's gonna get paralyzed.
You make some sort of bardic sound, and a 15-foot cube around you erupts with a sudden wave of noise.
Cool. We'll use sleep instead then, because I'm not going to hurt my buddy. We can lop off the heads of the other guys and just not his head.
So sleep is a 30-foot range, right? Or was it 60? What is it?
Creatures within a 20-foot feet of a point you choose within a range are affected in ascending order.
All right, roll your 5d8.
26.
The bandit with the pot on his head falls over, snoring. I don't want stew, he says. The shanking bandit falls over asleep as well. The one Dimple hit with fire conks out somehow. Maybe he inhales some smoke and then chokes and falls asleep.
I just sang a really good lullaby.
Yeah, what's that sound like?
Everybody sleep, ba-da-da sleep, ba-da-da sleep, ba-da-da sleep.
And that is it. Those are the only ones that fall asleep. Just those 3.
That's pretty good.
I was kind of hoping you would do Jigglypuff.
I know, that's what went through my mind.
Is there anything else you'd like to do with your turn? Come on.
Is there an arrow still sticking out of me?
You didn't get hit with an arrow. You got
I got
stabbed with a
sliced.
scimitar.
Right, that's right. I am gonna look at my buddy, my friend, and use him kind of as a crutch. And then I'm like, hey, let's just go sit by the fire. I did my part.
Excellent.
So we start walking towards the fire.
Start pulling him towards the fire. With that, it is the bandit's turn. There's a couple bandits left. So one of those bandits that is left shoots at Dimple because
I'm-
Dimple's in half cover.
I'm half
so he has
covered.
disadvantage. He has disadvantage shooting Dimple. He's going to shoot at Balazar standing in the middle of the road.
Now potless.
No, not in the middle of the road. He's in amongst the bandits. He's going to get a scimitar in the back from one of the bandits.
Ooh.
And he does hit you with a 22 to hit.
That
So he
hits.
does 4 points of slashing damage to Balasar.
So because I'm in rage, I'm resistant to bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing damage.
Yeah. So you take 2 points of damage.
That's pretty sweet.
But now my rage is over because I took damage.
And you hear, every single one of you, the sounds of footprints or footsteps. 'Cause footprints don't make a sound. You hear the sound of footsteps moving away in the underbrush from the caravan. That was the bandits' turn. It is now the top of the round. You do not see any bandits that are not smiling at Ekamon or dead. It is Dimple's turn.
So I don't see any evil bandits any longer.
No, you just see 3 sleeping bandits. One of them has not been hurt at all. That was Shanky Bandit, the one that had stabbed Ekamon.
But I heard something leaving the camp in the other direction.
Yes, you did you did hear footsteps moving away.
Okay, I'm going to cast Minor Illusion, and it's going to be a wolf howl, and I'm going to play it up a little bit by saying, "Go, Sparky, my loyal wolf! Find whoever is sneaking into the camp." And then there's going to be a woo Minor Illusion. Like a wolf howl. There we go. Better. Thank you.
Something akin to that comes forth. Make your deception check.
All right. 15.
You do not know if the footsteps move faster away, but you do also stop hearing them.
Well, I'm going to attempt to follow them as well with my move action.
I cross the street.
Sure.
And into the brush. You do hear the soft sounds of slumber from the 3 sleeping bandits as you pass Ekmon and his smiling bandit friend.
A smiling bandit sounds like a bar.
And that's what you say to them as
Yeah.
you walk by? Okay.
Sweet dreams, my wayward bandits. Society has done wrong by you.
Vestrad, it's your turn. Followed by Drizel.
Can I try to aim my shield in the direction of the sound that was walking away?
Yes, you may angle your shield and do a scan or a moving of the light. It's pretty tough. You're pretty far away at this point, and it's not really the easiest of things. So make a survival check. The difficulty is rather high to do anything with this.
Ooh, 12.
Yeah, you catch some leaves, and you catch the Z's of the slumbering bandits.
How long does sleep last?
A while.
I believe it's a minute.
Do we probably want to kill them while they're sleeping?
You want to say that as Vestrad?
Should I kill them? I'm really far away, so I'm trying to... Actually, I take that back. I'm going to use my action to move towards them and tie them up.
Oh, no.
Can I do that instead?
You have taken your action to shine your light
All right.
across the street. You've now moved over and you're in amongst the slumbering bandits. Next turn, you can gladly do that if you'd like to.
Uh-oh. Okay.
It is now Drizel's turn, followed by Balasar.
Did Giselle hear that sound?
Which sound? The sound of the steps moving away?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
But my dark vision doesn't help at all with seeing what that
No,
was.
they have slipped in amongst the trees.
Can I perceive about how far away that is from me? Like, is it a really far distance, or like from where I hear that initial sound? Like how
You
far
heard
away?
the initial sound in amongst the other bandits that were fighting,
Okay.
and somewhere within that copse of trees, someone is turned and had not come forward or made themselves visible during the conflict. They are now turned and moving away.
But at a quickened pace or a walking pace?
You just heard a few footsteps
Okay.
moving away.
And I'm still quite a distance from everything.
You've moved up 60 feet total of the 80 feet you were away. You are about single move action away from being in amongst the slumbering bandits themselves. You haven't done anything yet.
I am going to move towards the slumbering bandits.
Excellent. You step in amongst the slumbering bandits, and there, standing in their group, is Vestrad. Describe your character, Vestrad, since Allison has never encountered or seen the character before.
Well, Vestrad is quite tall for a human. You actually, with your height, probably come just above, like mid area between his hip and his shoulder. He's very fair-skinned, and he has these steely gray eyes and bright red hair. Beautiful man.
Ginger.
Oh, yeah.
He has no soul.
So I'm going to say Giselle is overjoyed with seeing Vestrad, her old mystical soccer coach. And he goes, "Hey, Vestrad!"
Sassier.
"Hey, Vestrad!" That's good? Okay.
That was a good choice.
Yeah.
Oh, hi, Drizel. Damn it! Your name's so hard.
New choice.
What?
Yeah, that's an improv thing where somebody makes a choice and then you say new choice.
I get it.
And then they
I
have
got
to
it.
do something
Yeah, I
a different way.
Okay, cool. Hi, mini one. What are you doing here?
I don't remember why I'm here. I can't remember what we talked about.
Did you get hit in the head?
With a mystical soccer ball, yes.
That conversation continues. Is there anything you'd like to actually do with your action?
Try to figure out where that other bandit went. See if I can
Make
see
a
anything.
perception check.
12.
Nah,
Yeah.
you're not clear at all.
Well,
You peer into the underbrush, trying to get a sense of which way the bandit went. You know which way they went. You just can't tell where they are, or if they are still moving, or if they've gone up a tree or have gone quiet. That was Drizel's turn. It is now Balasar's turn, followed by Ekamon.
So who is asleep right now?
Stabby, Shanky Bandit, Bernie Bandit, which is the one that was burned, and Pot Bandit, the one you potted.
Nice. Okay. So none of them are up right now? No, well, there might be
Yes,
more.
there is an additional bandit that is up. He is standing in the middle of the road with Ekamon.
'Cause it's Happy Bandit, if you'd been listening.
No, he's trying to see if there were any other bandits that might be threats. There are no current threats that Balasar immediately perceives.
Am I able to try and perceive where these other bandits went?
Yes,
at
you
all?
may make a perception check to try to peer into the underbrush to see what might be seen.
15.
You definitely can hear at least one, or maybe only one, moving off through the underbrush directly away from you. That's your action. Would you like to do any moving or talking?
No, that's all for me.
Stands in the middle of the road, panting, his arm bleeding lightly, holding a pot that is rather covered in blood.
Okay.
We move on to Ekamon.
Am I at the fire yet?
You've just crossed the road.
Cool. I start chatting up the smiley bandit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I try and get some information from him and just like ask him how his day's going and as Ekamon, of course. Hey, so how are you today? Oh, what's your name? Oh, what were you doing before?
A deep question. Like before I became a bandit,
Yeah, sure.
I was an apprentice pastry chef.
Oh, can you make tasty stuff?
No, I was just an apprentice. I wasn't very good at it.
You're probably better than you think.
Well, I could never figure out the difference between salt and sugar. I'm not so good with the reading, and yeah, so
You know you
bandits is a good thing to do. You should take it up. You would be a good bandit too.
Oh, thank you, man. That means a lot to me.
You're not gonna kill all my colleagues back there, are you?
Well, I'm not gonna kill him.
Make a persuasion or deception check at your leisure on that.
But I'm not going to kill
I
him. That's
knew
the
you were
honest
gonna say
truth.
Yeah, I know. So what would you like, persuasion or deception?
Well,
Like, are you inferring that they are not going to be killed? Or are you just stating
I'm just stating that I'm
that
not going to
you're
kill
not
him.
going to kill them?
But that's the way I say it. It's just like, oh, I'm not going to kill him.
Yeah, I just want to know what your intent is so I can determine what the
To-
NPC's reaction will be
To dissuade any anger or hostility towards me.
towards you. Okay, then definitely a deception check.
9.
He says, just because you're not doing the killing doesn't mean my friends aren't. He turns to recross the road and leave your embrace and try to roust his friends or the guys he works with. Because they definitely don't, he definitely didn't say friends. He definitely said colleagues, and he definitely implied that they were not people he liked.
So,
Baby driver crew.
knowing that,
Ooh.
I'm going to say, but friend, come back.
I'll allow you a subsidiary persuasion check with disadvantage, though. If only one was a natural 20.
And
The
the other
other
one would
was
be
a-
18 then.
Yeah, he turns and looks at you and he says, "Friend? I never had a friend since hot pie. Hot pie wasn't even a person. It was just a tasty dish." He splutters and breaks down in front of you, and
I hug him.
he hugs you roughly in a manly embrace that maybe lasts too long because it just seems so desperate for love and affection and hope.
I pat his back and I say, "You can call me Ekamon. Or Eki."
While you hug him, he faces the caravans. You face the slumbering bandits on the other side of the road, and you bear witness to what your comrades then do in the next several moments, which is what?
Tie them up.
Pull out some
And I'm
rope
going to take my arrow back that's sticking out of his testicles.
That guy's dead, so that's okay.
That's why I want to take
Yeah, you definitely. A testicle comes with it.
It's a kebab.
lunchtime.
Oh my, really? Is there a personality trait or an ideal or bond or flaw that attaches to that?
Nope.
That's just color. That's just straight up color.
I just like to try new things.
All right, well, that one's new.
Maybe
for
it
sure.
reminds me of my husband or my lover, my army lover, Dugard, that I left behind. Maybe they have the same
You
shape.
ate his
I was
testicles?
going to say, I don't want to be your lover
I
ever.
definitely didn't eat them. Might have done something different.
Oh,
Oh my goodness.
Wow.
Aaron's
This got
virginal
weird.
ears. Does anyone
You're
do
welcome.
anything to these slumbering bandits
Yeah,
that
tie
will
them up.
awaken all too soon? Yes, you run off to go get some rope. What is everybody else doing? But first, you didn't even run off to get rope first. First, you stopped, got a crossbow bolt back, ate the testicle that was embedded upon it, and then went to go get rope. So, Balasar, Dimple, and Drizel, what are you doing while you're trying to, and Ekamon, you probably recoil a little bit while you watch. What happens when you watch?
My brother ate a testicle?
Yeah, exactly. You shared stones with this guy.
Oh, this is a thing now.
Ekamon stares at Lestrade, wondering what sort of twisted brain lies underneath that skull. And makes a mental note never to let my privates be too near Lestrade. And then I continue comforting my friend.
Perfect, yes. It's just a mere moment. What is everyone else doing in that moment?
I'm going to attempt to drag the lightest looking bandit closer to the camp. So
Goodness gracious, what is your strength?
I've got a +1.
What is your strength, little gnome?
12.
That is enough to start to drag a bandit out from the underbrush. The lightest of them, Shanky Bandit. Now you note, Shanky Bandit does not appear to be hurt at all.
Yeah.
He is just asleep.
I feel like he's the most important one to tie up.
Balasar,
How many bandits are near me?
there are no real bandits near you. There are 3 sleeping bandits that are all at your feet. One of them is being pulled out of the woods by Dimple. One of them is being cajoled and empathetically embraced by Ekamon on the road.
Okay, I guess I'll carry one over to the wagons and fire.
Sure,
inside.
you just sling them up.
Yep.
Are you rough with them? Do you hurt them at all?
No, I do not.
All right, I'm going to say you grab Bernie Bandit because he's been burned.
Oh, okay.
He's not Bernie the
I
Bandit.
was going to say, I thought you meant weekend at Bernie's.
Yeah.
You definitely carry him like that over and
Put sunglasses on him.
you wave to Smiley and be like, dude. But you
High
haul him
five!
over. All right, you start carting over the driftwood, the corded wood of these 3 bandits and Drizel.
I kind of like the idea of taking my arrow back, so I'm going to go to the jugular guy.
Yeah. I'm going to need a check from you because removing such a well-shot longbow arrow does not require much, but if you roll poorly, you might hurt the arrow on its retrieval. So go ahead and pull that out. What skill would you like to apply?
Athletics?
If you
I'm
roll...
going to athletically pull this out.
Sure. But if you get under a 10, you might break the arrow because it's such an athletic attempt.
Be 20.
You already rolled?
Yeah,
I
she
rolled 7 before
Oh,
you
you
said.
rolled. I'm not going to count the roll before, so
Oh,
just because we didn't know what skill you were applying.
no.
There you go. You
Even
beat
better.
the crap
better.
out of it.
Yeah.
You pull out your boot knife, you cut the rest of his throat open, and then gently pull the arrow through the folds of his voice box and retrieve it. It may very well be stained permanently with his blood, but you might be able to buff that out.
I think I'll leave it like that.
Excellent.
This poor man.
Well, he's dead, so
And he was a bandit, so let's, keep things in
hashtag
check.
not all bandits.
Oh boy.
Because one's being hugged right now.
But he is still technically a bandit. He's just a happy
Absolutely.
bandit.
It's just what you do. It isn't who you are. So you proceed to move these slumbering bandits across to the caravan. You tie them all up, and they slumber for the minute or so before they begin to violently awaken. I would like to get survival checks, 3 of them, for the people who are tying them up. I'm going to recommend that whoever is doing it be the best at survival, and someone help that person so that they have advantage.
I am not good at that.
But while all of this is happening, Ekamon finishes his hug under a moonlit street on the outskirts of a caravan on the long road, the long path, the long trail to Greyhaven.
This sounds like it could be a good opening for a musical romance comedy thing.
Have you ever been to La La Land? 'Cause I'm singing on the trail. Anyway,
I will be tying them up.
And I'm going to be assisting by like holding their arms in the correct
are
position.
you skilled in survival?
No.
Who
but
else is skilled in survival? Anyone?
I am, but I'm not there tying them up. I was
you-
busy getting my arrow.
Yeah, that was just a brief moment
No, you
that
can go.
you took to do that. You can definitely, you don't have to roll.
I don't have to roll,
You're
but-
just going to assist so that he
Okay.
has advantage on his check.
I'll be your assist.
Excellent. The 2 of you tie these people up.
Ooh, 22.
That one was extremely well tied up. I don't think he's going to get out anytime soon. You need to do that 3
Oh,
times.
I need to do it 3 times?
Yes.
Was that Shanky?
Sure.
23. Natural
But
20.
even better,
Let's do
a natural
Bernie.
20.
That'll-
He just used a knot that's like a super knot. Like you're not even sure that is normally a knot, but it's like a reef knot combined with a sheep shank.
It's the knots that they tie Chinese food bags with, because I can never get those open.
I always have to
Yes.
open them for him.
Every time I try.
It's plastic bag. You grab.
Noob.
No.
I like using the bags after.
With that,
Last-
you just auto succeed on the 3rd one.
Nice.
It's the same knot. Yeah. I just want my takeout Chinese food.
It's really frustrating to watch at home.
I always just rip the bag.
Smiley, for want of a better name, says, "So, Eki, could I come with you guys?"
Well, I don't see why not. I mean, you seem like a pretty nice guy to me.
Thanks. Yeah, I didn't really agree with the bandit lifestyle. All
Hey.
this like killing unfortunates and gnomes. It's been really hard. I mean, profitable, sure. we found this group of it's like a family of gnomes. It was like 18 of them. They all had bright red curly hair, and we killed all of them. But they had lots and lots of valuables and provisions and gold and stuff. So I guess it was a good thing.
Well, normally that wouldn't really be a good thing, but that was in the past. You
Right.
can move forward and make better choices now.
Well,
And if you don't know, just ask me and I'll let you know.
that's what I was gonna say. Like, if I don't know if it's the right thing to do I just ask you? Like, I could be like, "Is this sugar?"
I will tell you if it's sugar.
Because when I used to ask before, my master would just beat me, and then the bandit captain, he would just beat me too. You're not gonna beat me, are you?
I would never beat you.
He just like, wow, there's some tension in those shoulders because it just washes away as this bandit comes back and sits by the fire with you and shares stories about how his mother was half orc and was very promiscuous. It's not good listening. It's like, 8 Mile sort of like backstory before the beginning of the movie sort of the thing. But you think that this guy could be a really good rapper. Like if you taught him the way, he could become a bard of a small amount of acclaim. Based on your actions, you may add the follower of Smiley to your character sheet.
What's his actual name?
Smiley, we'll go with that unless you would like to name him something else.
Brian.
Brian? Okay, you're not sure if Brian is gay or straight. You're somewhat sure. You think he might be
gay, but he does talk about his ex or the lady he left back in the city he was once from, which wasn't Mariposa, it was somewhere even further away. And they had a baby together, and he's really happy, but the baby passed away because that's what happens in fantasy settings. Most babies don't live. And
This is so tragic.
yeah, it's a super tragic story.
Oh,
If you'd like to know more about Brian,
Watch 8 Mile.
press 9. Live tweet to 210010.
That's not an actual thing, people. Do not live tweet that.
Yeah, 2100. If you tweeted at Tavern Tales DM, I will tell you more about Brian if you would like. Meanwhile, other bandits have been tied up. Are they tied together? Are they tied laying down? Are they hog-tied over a spit? What did you do to them,
They're-
Balasar?
They're tied together, not
Together?
over a spit.
Sitting upright or are they laying
Yes, they're sitting upright.
All
They
their
have
pinky toes are tied together.
He did get 23, so
down? Yeah, all of their pinky toes.
they have all been disarmed, though.
Wait, of their actual arms or just their weapons?
Their weapons.
All right, because a couple of them are really close to being properly disarmed by the fire and the destruction.
All limbs are intact.
Okay, the first one to wake up is the guy you struck over the head with the pot,
That lost 4 intelligence.
and he says,
Who is it? Sylvester Stallone.
yes, his name is Adrian. He doesn't actually say his own name because he doesn't need to do that.
well, you lost 4
Yeah,
in
yeah, I
points,
know.
so you could be just
Oh,
say,
absolutely,
like Groot.
but
You just
Yeah, I was
pull
gonna say
that
maybe it's a
level.
Groot situation.
Hodor.
Adrian.
Yeah.
Adrian.
Hodor.
or Hodor. Yeah,
That's
either way,
sad.
he doesn't really say much other than stumble and mutter
Hold
over
the
it.
door.
It looks like he bit his tongue almost all the way through
Oh.
while he's trying to talk. So, a lot of clotted blood is being spit out too as he tries to breathe and get around this grievous wound.
We don't have no clerics.
No.
That's
I
what
have a-
Dimple says.
Got no glare.
Looks at him.
We don't get no clerics. Sorry.
The shanky
Evil bandit.
though, wakes up next, and he just glares at all of you and remains silent.
That's good, because if he was going to say something, I was going to gag him.
But the comrade who was burned wakes up screaming.
Well,
He's the guy that shot me.
And I will
Right
not
here.
replicate the sounds that are coming from his mouth right now, but he definitely seems as if he's been grievously wounded. His flesh is literally sloughing off of him in certain parts because of how virulently he was burned by Dimple's firebolt. And that is what you have for prisoners. The merchants and other people of the wagons that you haven't really taken much of an opportunity to get to know have all kind of banded away from the sounds and the kind of traumatic scene that has been created. And Laura walks over to the group and she says, "All right, well, you've done a very wonderful thing in dispatching those heretofore bandits who would doubtlessly have killed us and stolen all our provisions and wares, but what are you doing with them in the camp?"
Well, we didn't bring them directly into the camp. We were just bringing them
Yeah,
off the road.
they're all in the
Yeah, we
in the
did.
confines in the
Oh,
circle
we
of
kinda
the
did.
wagons near the fire. If you hadn't done that, you wouldn't have had enough light to interrogate them or really properly disarm them. So this is probably the better way to have gone. Not everyone's looking at you, Dimple.
Well, Dimple puts her hands on her hips and looks up at Laura. And is Laura a dwarf?
Mhm.
Yeah, it's not too far up. But standing straight and tall, like she is used to with her station, she says, "Well, would you prefer that we murdered them on the road? Or would you prefer that we bring them to the authorities?"
What authorities were on the road of a giant expanse of greenery? There's not a civilization between here and Greyhaven. So are you planning on feeding them and bringing them along?
No, we just want to ask them questions.
What if there's more of them?
All right, well, be quickly about it so that the rest of the caravan is not put out by this egregious display.
I think we should put the flaming one out of his misery. It's more humane. He looks really sad.
that's the concerned. Not that
You wanna
he's
try that
screaming
again?
in pain, but he's sad.
No, I mix between British and whatever the other thing is.
Swedish was
I'm gonna
really what you were
stick
trying
with
for
it.
most of the time. And failing, but yeah.
Great.
It's really hard to do low and Swedish, okay?
So if you could just tell me what you do with these bandits.
I mean, I think that we should probably just tie them up by the side of the road, and if they manage to escape long after we've left for the day when we leave, that's fine with me. But if they don't, then because I don't want to have their like, we're gonna murder them.
Pot bandit and burned bandit, if you do not take care of them, are going to die. They need medical assistance that is likely not going to be provided. There are not very many caravans cutting through the Greenwald like this, leaving every day. If you leave them tied up, they are likely going to get ambushed by giant spiders or something else.
Fed to the spiders.
Maybe if we help them, they'll be nice to us.
Even Vestrad doesn't believe that when he says that.
I'm not a particular fan of Shanky, and the other two we've already heard so much.
Should we interrogate them first?
Sure.
Well, not Bernie. I don't think he's gonna be very helpful. He's just kind of screaming right now.
Maybe you just want to kill Bernie.
Smiley,
Honestly.
don't look.
It's Brian.
Okay, Smiley.
And he gives a big grin.
Hey, Brian.
For sake of convenience, Chelsea, can you get somebody else to play Brian at the table for us
That'd be great.
for the rest of the game? So if you could just pick someone, they will get to be Brian while we continue to do this dungeon in a box.
Hey, Aaron. You want to be Brian?
Sure.
Cool.
All right.
Has a voice or personality been established for Brian already?
Smiles.
Seems like a surfer guy almost.
Yeah.
Well, because you started off as a surfer and then you went British on me.
Yeah.
You did.
It was like a British icy.
You're more than welcome to change Brian to fit however you would like. Please attend to the story that has been wrought so far. But again, if you'd like to know more about Brian, check me out on Twitter at Tavern Tales DM. You put the burned bandit as well as the pot bandit out of their misery. Unless you are going to heal them and let them on their way, it is
No.
by far and away a great deal more humane to finish them off. Who digs their grave? Or do you just leave them out for carrion?
I'll dig the grave.
Wow.
I'm strong.
I help my brother.
This is- guys are the nicest people. You dig the graves for the bandits. And who sets about talking to Shanky bandit?
I'll talk to Shanky.
All right, Dimple.
Yeah.
Oh, this is not going to go well.
Can I assist, like intimidation?
Can I also
guess?
assist this, maybe?
Yes, everyone assists. What would you like to ask Shanky Bandit specifically?
Are there more of you?
Yes.
Where are they?
The bandit camp is down the way.
Down the way where?
Look, lady, it's the forest.
Will they attack us again?
Probably not, since you killed so many of us.
What are you going to do when we let you go?
Probably go to Mariposa and hire myself out as a guard somewhere east so that I don't have to engage or interact with the captain ever again, because if I go back to the camp, he'll probably kill me for telling you all this, for one, and also for failing. And then while I'm on the crew, and you get the feeling that if he's going to hire himself as a guard, he will likely pick a smaller caravan heading east, and 2 or 4 nights in, out of the city, he'll kill everyone in the caravan, take all their stuff, and continue on his own.
Yeah. What's your captain's name?
He lies.
That's not it.
That's a weird name.
Yeah, that's a
What
weird
was
name.
that name, Paige?
Didn't we learn our lesson last time?
We always listen.
Tankerman.
Yeah, see, it was a lie.
That doesn't seem like a real name.
There's no such thing as a tank.
Not a thing.
Ermin.
Yeah,
Tank Ermin.
yeah, both names. That's
Yeah.
his first name is Tank.
No, it's Tank. Middle name. Man.
Yeah, he keeps getting more and more clear on this pronunciation. You know it's not true at all.
Definitely
He's
not
the
true.
worst of liars.
Okay, so I'm gonna leave and talk to
All right,
my
you
good
have a
friend.
conversation.
We have to kill him.
All right, then.
All right.
Smiley, don't look.
Well, why? What are you going to do to him?
Just close your eyes and cover your ears.
But I'm afraid of the dark.
Smiley reaches out for Brian reaches out for Ekamon's hand.
I open my arms just to receive him in a hug.
Oh, okay. He takes your hand, closes his eyes, and turns his head to your shoulder, I guess. And can you just like a little sound? Yep, that's perfect. There's a little sound. Drizel, how are you? What do you do in this?
I'm good with all of this. This is all fine.
Who kills Shanky?
I'm making the decision, so I'll do it.
Wow, how very stark of you.
I know.
I guess I'll dig another grave.
It's a noble's responsibility to protect.
Wait, Ekamon kills him?
Why?
He did kill. He did attack
Shanky,
Ekamon.
right? Yeah.
Shanky. I don't like being
Ekamon
stabbed.
should have the honors.
Wow, so while you're like deliberating to go,
I was like pulling out my dagger. I'm like, it's a noble's responsibility to protect those who are less fortunate. I'm like, what the hell?
Yeah, as you do this to check on your responsibility, you see Ekamon turning Brian away, or so it looks like. But then there's this like quick flash as a rapier's suddenly out. And where do you stab Shanky Bandit?
Where do you stab Brian?
No, Brian's safe. I stab Shanky Bandit right through the eye.
And of course, he's just sitting there on the ground. You stab him, give it a little swish, and pull it out. And
An eyeball goes flying.
Yes, an eyeball goes flying, hits Laura Hannah in the back as she's tending to the fire, and she turns and she doesn't know what, and she steps on it as she turns away, and she's like, she thinks like a moth or something is flying. She doesn't really know what it was and goes back to what she was doing. You dig the graves. It takes some time. The rest of the evening passes quietly. You do not learn or determine where the bandits' camp was, even though it did sound like it was very well situated. And the day dawns bright and early the next, and whoever did all of that through their watch is a little bit more tired over the course of the next day and actually has a minus on their checks for any difficulties. But that day, no hardships befall the group, and you proceed onward towards Greyhaven. But to find out what the next adventure will be, we'll have to wait for the next time. And that is the end of this game session.
Raise a glass and drink with the enemy. Raise a glass and sing with the enemy. And I'm not gonna do this on my own. And raise a glass and toast to the enemy. Raise a glass and sing to the enemy. And I'm not gonna do this on my own.
This concludes this episode, Tavern Tales Presents Dungeon in a Box. Find out more about Dungeon in a Box at www.dungeoninabox.com. Our intro and outro music is the song Tavern Tales by the Bad Billy Band. Find out more about the Bad Billy Band on iTunes or on their website, www.badbillyband.com, or follow them on Twitter @BadBillyBand. Thanks for listening. Please feel free to leave us a review on iTunes or to find us on Twitter @Tavern_Tales. We'll be back next week with more of the adventure.
He ran into my life.
I told you, that's not
Oh my god, it's like pop rocks.
that's not the organic sound that we were looking for earlier. It's like rolling a Colossus's testicle around in your mouth.
Why is it so hard?
That's literally what all the ladies say to Colossus.
That's what she said.